Hi everyone, this is Anna with the Livingston Public Library. Passover is coming up and a fun craft to do is making origami leapfrogs. Now there are about two different ways to do origami leapfrogs. I've gone with the slightly more complex version. I think this one looks a little nicer and more importantly, I think it leaps better as you'll see in the video. I've decided to use a green piece of paper since it's a frog, but any color is fine. As you can see, my frog is pretty small because that's just the paper I had. Actually, I had pretty big paper. It's so big it didn't fit in the camera, so I just cut it down smaller, and this guy leaps pretty well. So get your square piece of paper and let's get started. All right, we're going to take our paper and we're going to fold it so that the white side is on the inside into a rectangle. If you're using plain white paper, of course it doesn't matter which side goes on the inside, but if you're using colored paper, the color should be on the outside. And now we're going to fold again in half so that we have a square. Now, even during this initial folding, which may seem simple, it is really important to get your creases and your lines straight. So here I am making sure the edges are perfectly lined up and adjusting my crease accordingly. Now we're going to unfold the square so that we still have a rectangle. And then imagining two boxes left and right, we are going to fold the left box in half diagonally so that we have a triangle, as you can see here. And then we're going to make sure that crease is nice and then unfold, and we are going to fold it diagonally the other way, taking the bottom corner up top. Once your crease is good, we'll unfold and we'll do the same thing with the right box, folding it in half diagonally so that we have a triangle. And then we're going to unfold and fold again the opposite way so that we can get that X shape through our right box. And what we're doing here is creating guidelines so that the following steps will be easier. So once you have that, we are going to flip this shape over. And again, imagining two boxes, we are going to first fold the left box in half vertically, as you can see here. And once you have that folded, unfold, and now we're going to do the right side, again folding in half vertically. And once that is folded nicely, unfold. It's going to look like this, and we're going to flip over. And now we're going to put those guidelines to work. So poke that left center in, and you can see here how I'm using those guidelines to squash fold into a triangle. I'm unfolding so you can see a little bit what we did. We're going to do the same on the right. Poke in that center and use those guidelines to squash fold into another triangle. I'm just going to pull this out briefly so you can see again how we folded everything in, and we're going to keep the shape this way. And now, spinning it as I did, take the top left corner and fold it up towards that center top point so that you are creating a small triangle on the top left. And then we are going to do the same thing on the right side, taking that top right corner in, only the top layer. We are leaving the bottom layer. Take the top left corner up so that we create a small diamond up top. And now we are going to take that top layer and we're going to fold it down towards the bottom diagonal of our small diamond, making the shape as shown. If you have some imagination, these are going to be the feet of our frog. Maybe you can already see it. All right, so now we have two little feet up top. And we're going to spin our shape around so we can start on the other feet. So we're going to do the same thing, taking the new top left corner up to the top point to make a small triangle. And then we're going to take the top right corner. All right, and now we're going to take that top left point to the bottom diagonal as shown, folding out. And now we're going to do the right side. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 little frog feet. And we're going to flip this over and start working on the body. So imagine a center line, and we're going to take the left corner and we're going to fold it in towards that center line so that we have a long triangle on the left. And we're going to do the same, it's showing you here what it looks like a little. And then we're going to do the same thing on the right. So it will almost look like a kite shape with these long triangles you have created. Let me show you a little bit in the back here. We're going to take this back point and we're going to fold it up as much as we can. This is going to be the rear end of your frog. It's going to be a little difficult because at this point the paper will be a little thick. Make sure to watch those bottom legs so that you don't rip the paper with the legs. And then squash that down. And then this back triangle will stick up a little bit. But if you look at it, you will see on both sides it has these little pockets. Using my finger to open up those little pockets. And we are going to tuck the top two triangles into those pockets so that everything lays down nice and flat and stays together. There we go. Oops, my little leg came undone. Tuck that back down. All right, and now we're going to flip our frog over, and you can see a line down the middle. We're going to fold that frog in half. And now looking again at the rear end, we're going to imagine that in half, and we are going to fold it in half. Now at this point there are many layers of paper, so this is probably going to be a bit difficult, but just take your time so you don't rip anything, and we're going to do our best to get that right in half. And you now have a jumping frog. Let's check him out, looking pretty good. And now, of course, we have to test him out. Look at him go. I'm going to bring him back. And, of course, we got to do another test jump. There he goes. Let's do one final test jump. Woo! And there you have it, the leaping frog. So as you can see, these things are pretty fun to play with. I was having a lot of fun. This is a beginner level origami. If your frog didn't come out exactly the way you want it, just keep practicing. Practice makes perfect. And hopefully you will have these things leaping across the room. Whoops. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.